In this lecture, we will review Love for the Older Adult by Dr. Bev Knox. This topic can also be called Love in Old Age or Love as a Seasoned Individual. Let us first ask the question, what is love? Is love what is described in storybook romances? It is real or merely fiction? When we think of love, most people, depending on age and culture, often think of the great love stories like Romeo and Juliet, Cinderella, and the Prince. According to Sternberg, these stories are much more than entertainment. They shape our beliefs about love and relationships, and our beliefs in turn influence our behavior. Many of these stories have their origins in the culture, in folk tales, literature, theater, films, and television programs. As we experience relationships, our stories evolve, taking into account unexpected events. Love at any stage in life includes both emotional and physical expressions of affection. But what does love really look like for the older adult? Finding love later in life can be a beautiful thing. The National Institute on Aging generally describes older adults as people age 65 or older. However, definitions of older adulthood vary. The standard research categories break older adulthood into three phases: young old 65 to 74, middle old 75 to 84, and oldest old 85 and up.
Moore and Saylor in 2018 investigated the experience of romantic love for women who entered into relationships later in life. They noted that romantic love for older adults may be complicated by factors including finances and the objections of adult children. There may be other potential issues, including health concerns or relationships with ex-spouses. Yet the experience is often worth pursuing. Romantic relationships can be deeply meaningful at any age. Older adults often bring greater self-awareness, emotional maturity, and clarity to relationships. Later life relationships can support mental health, personal growth, and fulfilling lives. But what exactly is love? Let us review some of the leading theories.
Sometimes people move quickly from initial impressions to friendship to the more intense, complex, and mysterious state of romantic love. If love endures, temporary passionate love will mellow into a lingering companionate love. Passionate love mixes something new with something positive. We intensely desire to be with our partner. Seeing our partner stimulates blood flow to a brain region linked to craving and obsession. This can happen to adults at any age. Stanley Schachter and Jerome Singer's two-factor theory of emotion can help us understand the intense positive absorption of romantic love. This theory assumes that, first, emotions have two ingredients: physical arousal plus cognitive appraisal. And second, arousal from any source can enhance one emotion or another, depending on how we interpret and label arousal.
Now, let us review how the mind approaches love differently with age. Romance can be a big part of a relationship in older adults, but it often occurs alongside a healthy dose of practicality. Older adults often have a complex web of life experiences, existing relationships, and outside interests. And a romantic relationship may not be centered the way it would be for a younger person. Also, older adults can be more emotionally regulated and resilient than young adults. Rather than a frenzy of passion or desire, older adults may be more drawn toward deep emotional intimacy and companionship in their romantic relationships.
Robert Sternberg in 1986 has formulated a triangular theory of the nature of love. According to his theory, love has three fundamental components: intimacy, passion, and decision or commitment. Intimacy is the emotional component of love. It includes our feeling of closeness and bondedness to the other person. It also involves a sense of mutual understanding with the loved one. Passion is the motivational component of love. It includes physical attraction and the drive for sexual expression. Physiological arousal is an important part of passion, however, it is also the component that fades most quickly. Next, it is the decision or commitment. This component has two aspects: the short-term aspect to the decision that one loves the other person, and the long-term aspect, which is the commitment to maintain that relationship. Commitment is what makes relationships last. In the Sternberg's triangular theory of love, the triangle metaphor allows us to show how the two people in a couple can be well matched or mismatched in the love they feel toward each other. So, partners can be well matched or mismatched, depending on whether their levels of intimacy, passion, and commitment match. Sternberg also argues that each of the three components of love must be translated into action. The intimacy component is expressed in actions such as communicating personal feeling and information, self-disclosure, offering emotional and perhaps financial support, and expressing empathy for the other. The passion component is expressed in actions such as kissing, touching, and making love. The decision or commitment component is demonstrated by actions, such as saying, I love you, getting married, and sticking with a relationship.
Another theory of love is called the attachment theory of love. Research on early human experience between infant and parent is the foundation for this theory. The quality of one's early attachment, whether secure and pleasant or insecure and unpleasant, profoundly affects us for the rest of our lives. Our early attachment styles particularly affects our capacity to form loving attachments to others when we are adults. Adults, yes, even older adults, are characterized in their romantic relationships by one of three styles. First, secure lovers. People who find it easy to get close to others and are comfortable having others feel close to them. Second, fearful or avoidant lovers. They are uncomfortable feeling close to another person or having that person feel close to them. It is difficult for them to trust or depend on a partner. And lastly, preoccupied or anxious ambivalent lovers. They want desperately to get close to a partner, but often find the partner does not reciprocate the feeling. Perhaps because anxious ambivalent lovers scare away others. They are insecure in the relationship, worrying that the partner does not really love them.
Now, when it comes to the biology of love, research suggests that bodily chemistry and neural activity in the brain are the cause. Dopamine is associated with euphoria and craving. A surge of dopamine in the human body can produce increased energy and focused attention. The frequent presence of a loved one, produced initially by passionate love, triggers the production of two other chemicals, prolactin and oxytocin. The levels of prolactin rise following orgasm in humans and are also related to pair bonding in voles. Oxytocin is stimulated by touch, including sexual touching and orgasm, and produces feelings of pleasure and satisfaction. Research indicates that levels of interpersonal trust correlate positively with oxytocin as well. Despite common misconceptions, maintaining healthy relationships later in life can be a key part of aging well. Romantic relationships, including intimate ones, can have a range of benefits for older adults, although you may need to give special consideration to age-related concerns. By maintaining physical and emotional intimacy, practicing shared activities, staying open, and planning ahead, you may be able to make the most of romance in your later years. Always consult with your doctor as needed.
Now, when it comes to love and happiness as we age, there is a deep emotional connection that can thrive in older adulthood. Many seasoned individuals, also known as older adults, find that their relationships become more meaningful as they prioritize emotional connections. This shift often leads to increased happiness and satisfaction in life.
Please be advised, this is an educational, academically sound psychology course by Dr. Bev Knox for adult student learners. Lecture content include discussions and representations of human sexuality, theoretical perspectives on sexuality, sex research, sexual anatomy, sex hormones, sexual arousal, attraction and love theories, gender and sexuality, sexual orientation, variations in sexual behavior, sexual coercion, sex for sale, sexual disorders, and sex therapy, ethics and religion on sexuality, and sex laws. Before beginning the course, please be mindful of your capacity to witness and respond to videos, books, and images of this content material.